There's a specific kind of tired that a nap can't fix. It's that heavy, bone-deep exhaustion where you feel like you're constantly performing, constantly striving, and yet, never quite doing enough. If that's where you are today, I want to show you something. My most recent short on Matthew chapter 11 verse 28 blew up, and I think I know why. We are a generation that has forgotten how to rest. Today, we're going to look at the radical exchange Jesus offers in that verse, and why it's the only real cure for burnout. Jesus starts with an invitation to the weary and burdened. In 2026, we think that just means a busy schedule. But in the original context, Jesus was talking to people crushed by religious legalism, the Pharisaic rules. Imagine having 600+ laws to follow just to be okay with God. It was a performance-based life. Maybe for you, it's not ancient religious laws. Maybe it's the law of social media, the law of your career, or the weight of past guilt. That's the heavy load Jesus is looking at when he says, "Come to me." Then he says something strange. "Take my yoke upon you." A yoke was a wooden frame used to pair two oxen together so they could pull a load. If you're weary, the last thing you want is a yoke, right? But here's the beauty. In a pair of oxen, the stronger, more experienced one takes the primary weight. Jesus is saying, stop pulling the plow of your life alone. Get in the yoke with me. He isn't giving you more work. He's giving you a partner who does the heavy lifting. This is the radical exchange. You give him your exhaustion, your guilt, and your striving. He gives you his grace and his humility. This is a move from a performance-based life to a grace-based life. You don't earn the rest. He gives it to you. You don't find the peace by working harder. You find it by surrendering. The righteousness you're trying to build for yourself? He's already credited it to your account. You can breathe now. So, what's the next step? It's not a ritual, it's just coming. Surrender the worry you've been carrying today. If you've been trying to earn God's favor, stop. His yoke is easy because he's the one pulling. If this resonated with you, I've put together a series of these promises. This is just the first one. Stick around, subscribe, and let's walk through these together. You weren't meant to carry this load alone. But once you've found that rest in Jesus, you realize that life still requires you to show up. You need power to move forward. That leads us to promise number 2. Promise number 2, strength. Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. In 2026, dismay is everywhere. We feel small against global shifts, economic changes, and personal health battles. This promise isn't just a feel-good quote. It's a legal guarantee from the Creator. The breakdown: do not fear. This is a command, not a suggestion. I will uphold you. In Hebrew, this implies a firm grip. It's the image of a father catching a child before they hit the pavement. Promise number 3, direction and guidance. Proverbs chapter 3 verses 5 to 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight. In 2026, we have more choices than any generation in history, and more anxiety because of it. We are terrified of making the wrong move. This promise is the cure for that paralysis. The breakdown: lean not on your own understanding. This is the hardest part. It means admitting that your perspective is limited. You're looking at the map from the ground. God is looking at it from the satellite. Make your paths straight. In the original language, this implies clearing away the obstacles. It doesn't mean the road will be easy, but it means the way will be clear. But it's hard to follow a path if you're worried about how you're going to pay for the journey or provide for your family. That's why promise number 4 is so critical. Promise number 4, provision. Philippians chapter 4 verse 19. The verse, and my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of His glory in Christ Jesus. We live in an era of economic volatility. Inflation, job shifts, and the constant fear of not having enough can keep you up at night. But notice the wording. God doesn't say He will meet your needs according to the current economy or your bank balance. He says He will meet them according to His riches. The breakdown. All your needs. This distinguishes between wants and needs. It's a promise of survival and sustenance. According to His riches, imagine a billionaire writing you a check. They don't give out of their lack. They give out of their abundance. God's resource pool is infinite. Promise number 5. Peace. Philippians chapter 4 verses 6 to 7. The verse, "Do not be anxious about anything, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." Anxiety is the epidemic of our time. We try to understand our way out of stress, but Jesus offers a peace that transcends understanding. It's a peace that doesn't make sense given the circumstances. Guard your hearts. In the original Greek, the word for guard is a military term, phroirio. It means to stand watch like a soldier at a city gate. We've covered rest, strength, direction, provision, and peace. If even one of these has hit home for you so far, drop a comment below and let me know which one. We still have 5 more to go, and number 7 is the one most people overlook. Promise number 6. Wisdom. James chapter 1 verse 5. The verse, "If any of you lacks wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you." We are drowning in information, but we are starving for wisdom. In 2026, we can Google any fact, but we can't Google what to do with a broken relationship or a difficult career choice. God doesn't just promise information, He promises insight. Most of us are afraid to ask for help because we feel like we should already know the answer. God says, "I won't roll my eyes at you. I won't judge you for being confused." Gives generously. He doesn't give you just enough to get by. He pours it out. Promise number 7. Protection. Psalm chapter 91 verses 1 to 2. The verse, "Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust." There is a lot of noise out there, headlines designed to make you feel unsafe. But this promise is about your spiritual zip code. It's about where you choose to live mentally and spiritually. The shadow of the Almighty. To be in someone's shadow, you have to be standing very close to them. This isn't protection from a distance, it's protection through proximity. Refuge and fortress. A refuge is where you go to hide. A fortress is where you go to stand and fight. God is both. Promise number 8. A future and a hope. Jeremiah chapter 29 verse 11. The verse, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." In 2026, the future feels like a giant question mark. We worry about AI, the climate, the economy, and our own purpose. But this promise tells us that while the world might be chaotic, God isn't winging it. He has a blueprint. The breakdown. For I know, God isn't guessing. He's the only one who has already been to your future and come back to tell you it's okay. Not to harm you. This is a direct attack on the fear that the other shoe is going to drop. God's ultimate intention for your life is good, even when the middle of the story feels messy. Promise number 9. Victory in the battle. Romans chapter 8 verse 37. The verse, "No, in all these things we are more than conquerors through Him who loved us." Do you ever feel like you're just barely keeping your head above water? We think victory means just surviving the week. But Paul uses a specific word here, more than conquerors. More than conquerors. In the original Greek, the word is hypernekomen, where we get the word hyper. It means an overwhelming, landslide victory. In all these things, this doesn't mean the trouble goes away. It means the trouble doesn't define the outcome. You aren't just winning the fight, you're growing because of the fight. Promise number 10. Restoration. Joel chapter 2 verse 25 and Revelation chapter 21 verse 5. The verse, I will restore to you the years that the swarming locust has eaten. Joel chapter 2 verse 25, and, behold, I am making all things new. Rev 21-5. We all have things we've lost. Maybe it's a failed relationship, a missed opportunity, or just years spent in that striving and legalism we talked about at the start. It's easy to feel like it's too late. But God is a specialist in restoration. The years the locusts have eaten. This is such a powerful image. It acknowledges that the loss was real. The years are gone. But God's power is so great He can pack more life, more joy, and more purpose into your future than what was stolen in your past. Making all things new, He doesn't just fix the old you. He makes you a new creation. The radical exchange is complete. We've walked through 10 promises today, from the rest found in Matthew chapter 11 verse 28 to the restoration we just covered. Here's the truth. These aren't just positive thoughts. They are anchors for your soul in a world that is shifting every single day. If you're still here, it's because your heart is hungry for this truth. I'm going to be diving deeper into each of these in the coming weeks, so if you haven't yet, join this community. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next deep dive into the Word. Remember, you aren't pulling the plow alone. Take His yoke, find His rest, and I'll see you in the next video. If you want to see the next promise God made you, click this video right here.